I'm going to say, here we go. And greetings to you in the name of our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. It is my joy to be with you in this brand new study about Joseph. And I hope and I pray that for Christians who have not studied the Bible for a long time, to go back with me to Genesis account and start refreshing their memory, refreshing their mind about what happened in the life of Joseph, as we will be talking about Joseph in the Quran and obviously in the Bible. One may ask the question, why did I choose to talk about Joseph? I mean, what's the big deal about learning the story about Joseph? Oh, there's so much. Number one, the story of Joseph in the Quran is copied from the Bible. So when Muslims claim that we believe in Abraham, we believe in Jacob, we believe in Jesus, we believe in Moses, and we believe in Jacob, we automatically take them for their word and say, yeah, they believe in these biblical names and biblical accounts. But in reality, that they do not know anything about any of these names, as we just mentioned some of them. For when we study the Quran, we find that the Quran is lacking, missing information. The Quran is confusion. The Quran is very, very poor material to be given in any education or any place of learning. Why? Because we got the right story. We got the full story. For those who have never read the Bible, they never learn anything about Joseph specifically for our study here, and they read the story in the Quran. They say, "Hey, that is the Joseph, and that is the Joseph of the Bible." But in reality, if they get familiar with the true account of the Bible, they find out so many errors. I'm talking about over 100 errors, 100 missing information. 100, I mean, I'm just giving you 100 as a number from my head. I didn't count them, but plenty. Trust me, it's more than 100 problem we have with the story of Joseph. Why did I choose Joseph? Because, to be honest with you, according to the word of Allah, as we're going to read in Quran chapter 12, which is named by Joseph, verse 3, you will see that this is the best of the stories. I mean, I picked up the best of the Quran to show you how much the Quran is lacking. How much error do we have in the best of the stories of the Quran? Now, maybe some will tell you, well, like most Muslims will say, you cannot understand the Quran without reading the interpretation of the Quran. Well, I hold in my hand here a book is called قصص الأنبياء من القرآن والأثر لأبي الفداء الحافظ ابن كثير. This is Ibn Kathir handwritings. Now, Ibn Kathir is not a guy who lived in Muhammad day, but he lived a few hundred years later, and he wrote this wonderful book. Let me tell you a story about that book which I hold in my hand. That physically, that book I have in my hand. So I was traveling in one of my trips from, I believe, or somewhere in Asia, going to Indonesia, and I believe the Lord has always opened the door for me perfectly at the right time, at the right place to talk to some Muslim. So the airplane is big, 747, it's all full, no empty seats hardly. And I was getting tired from sitting in it for quite some hours. I've been traveling all the way actually for the last 20 some hours from America. We went to Europe, and from Europe we went to somewhere in Asia, and literally 5 or 6 flights to get to Indonesia. So that was one of the flights. So I said I walk. I go for a walk in the airplane. You go in circles and you go, 3 or 4 times, and then you sit down. Well, I'm going in a circle, and I noticed there's a gentleman sitting by himself with an empty seat next to him, and he was reading the Quran. And how Muslims read the Quran, they shake their head back and forth, or sometimes side to side. So I continue with my first circle, and I talked to my professor, Dr. Ken Taylor. And I said, Professor, he said, yes, Usama. I said, I think the Lord provide me with a man whom I'm going to be ministered to. Would you be praying in the next whatever time I'm going to have with him until he closes the door? I say, go move on. I'm going to sit next to him, and there's an empty seat next to him. I'm not sure if there's, an empty seat or somebody is using the bathroom in the airplane. So we'll see what's going to happen. So Professor Taylor said, go for it. I'll be praying for you. So I make the next circle, and I say, hey, how are you doing? In Arabic. Assalamu alaikum. I said, wa alaikum assalam. And he literally said, sit down, brother. I said, anybody sit next to you? He said, no. It's an empty seat. Wow. Airplane almost full. A Muslim guy reciting the Quran, empty seat next to him. Coincidence? I don't think so. So I start ask him, as I always do. I see you're reading the Quran. He said, yes. I said, would you please continue to read? I would love to hear whatever Allah said in that passage you're reading. Sure, he got excited, clear his voice, speak a little bit louder, why I can hear him. And he was reading about uh, Abraham, Isaac, and son Joseph. So I said to him, do you understand what you're reading? It's exactly the same question was given from Philip to the Ethiopian. He said, do you understand what you're reading? Well, believe it or not, he said, yes, of course. I said, so after he read a little bit, I start asking him a question. And then ask him another question. And I asked the third question. Every time I asked him a question, his answer was, well, I don't know. Well, I'm not really familiar with, well, I don't know. Well, he said, but we do have the Muslim scholars who interpret to us the Quran, and that's how we can understand it very well. Well, he stood up, reached out to his bag, opened his bag, and here it is. The book was in his bag, Ibn Kasir. And I was honored that he actually wrote his name inside here. So he like gave it to me as a gift. I don't want to take it really from him because I told him, I can get the book online. He said, no, I want you to have it. We have a good talk. And then we went to Joseph, which is the story I'm reading with you today, or in the next few broadcasts, Lord's willing. And then I start sharing with him what is written in the Bible about Joseph. And the man was literally shocked because what is missing here, what is missing in the Quran, is written perfectly in a easy way to understand in the story or the account of Joseph in the Bible. Why do I choose Joseph? Why not go to any other story? We can go to all of them. As a matter of fact, if you get my 2-volume books, Exposing the Truth About the Quran, The Revelation of Error, you see I have 40 chapters about almost every story in the Quran. And I call it the story, the errors of the Quran, the errors in the stories of the Quran, because that's exactly what it is. So these 2 books available as a paper book or as an ebook. Now, why Joseph again? Because there is no doctrines. There's nothing to argue about. There is it is a story. It's the best of the story. We're not talking about crucifixion, or not talking about the Trinity or sin or salvation. I'm talking about just a story in the Quran without any doctrines or without any specific theological philosophy. It's just a story. And as I said, it's the best of the Quran. And as I said, you can understand it. And as I said, it's full of error and contradiction. And the beauty of studying the Quran, when you open the pages of the Quran and you put it side by side next to the Bible, now you see how once and how missing the Quran is. Now, Ibn Kathir, in his book here, in the beginning of his book, he confessed that he used the Bible to understand, not to understand. He said to add a little bit information to the Quran. He said, Ibn Kathir is telling, of course, it's all in Arabic, so you'll not be able to understand anything here. But I'll tell you what he said. He said that we do not count on the Bible to understand the Quran. We don't need it. We just use it as, after you eat a big meal, sweet meal, a little bit dessert, sweet thing to eat, but like that. He said, if the Bible is in agreement with the Quran, we'll use it. If the Bible is in disagreement with the Quran, we don't use it because, after all, we don't need it. Amazingly, on page 185, ذكر ما وقع في الأمور العجيبة في حياة إسرائيل فمن ذلك. It's like mentioning the great things which happened, or the wonder things which happened in the life of Israel. He meant Jacob. And from it, the story of Joseph, the son of Rachel. The story of Joseph, the son of Rachel. I'm, I'm really shocked. He's talking about Jacob, but in the same time, he moved from Jacob to Joseph to understand Jacob. My friends, you cannot understand the life of my father by studying the life of me, Usama Dakdok. My father lived literally 40 years before he got me as a son. And I was not in Egypt for the last 20 years of his life. So if you want to know the life of my father, you have to study my life in the 23 years which I lived in Egypt, plus the 40 years before I was born, plus the 20 years after I left. And then you can even meet with my father in my home in Florida to add the last few months before my daddy passed away. You follow me so far? Here we go, 83 years old man. You cannot, I'm going to say it again, you cannot understand the life of Reverend Dakdok, my daddy, unless you know everything about him. But in the case of Jacob, who is Israel, and by the way, 99.9 of the Muslim people don't have a clue why we call him Jacob, why we call him Israel. What is the real name? Is it Jacob or Israel? And that itself you cannot understand unless you go back to the Bible and you know why God changed his name from Jacob to Israel. But that's not our study for today. But how in the world you can know the life of Jacob, when there is nothing written about Jacob in the Quran? You can't do it. It's a missing chapter. As a matter of fact, if we talk about Isaac, it's amazing. It's a missing chapter. If we talk about Ishmael, it's a missing chapter. If we talk about Esau, the name Esau was never even mentioned. I'm talking about Esau, Jacob's brother, the twins. So, my friend, we have a problem. You cannot understand the Quran because the stories of the Quran are not there. But in the same time, Ibn Kathir is literally taking what's called mocking the peace mind of his Muslim readers, and he's talking about Jacob by telling us about Joseph. This is like mocking me. But once again, the reason he could not write anything about Jacob because there's nothing written about Jacob in the Quran worth reading or worth understanding the story. Now, the Quran also said, and that's the word of Allah in the Quran, it is pure Arabic. It is written in pure Arabic. As we're going to see, in every chapter in the Quran, there are plenty of foreign words. The Quran said it is easy to understand. No, the Quran is not an easy book to understand. You cannot understand the Quran, as a matter of fact, as I said, repeat myself, until you read the Bible. Read the Bible, you understand the Quran. You don't read the Bible, you have no clue what Allah is talking about in the Quran. And I believe chapter 12, the story of Joseph, is the best of the stories in the Quran, not in reality, because as I said, it's missing so much, hundreds of talking points we're going to get to. There is no answer. We could not find the answer anywhere in the pages of the Quran. You have to go back to the Bible to understand the Quran. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the Quran, the 100 plus verses of chapter 12. And once in a while, we're going to go back to the Bible and we'll read the same portion of the life of Joseph from the Bible to see what is missing or to correct the false information which is written in the pages of the Quran. I can say this with all respect. If I'll ever find a Muslim scholar, somebody who knows the Quran, to debate me on the topic of Joseph, and I'll make it so easy. It's going to be open book debates, which means I'm going to open my Bible and he or she will open their Quran, and I ask the question about Joseph, and they can take their time, an hour, a week, a month, just answer any of my questions without using my Bible. I mean, that's a very easy challenge. I'm going to ask you, let me put this number, 100 questions. 100 questions from the story of Joseph alone. I'm not going to go anywhere else. Now, if the Muslim man or a woman answer one correctly without using my Bible, he or she have already won the debate. If they did not, that means I will win the debate. Let me make it a little bit more ridiculous, silly. I will not even bother them, whoever want to debate me, to do the debate, but I will simply make a child, 19 years old kid, who can read the Bible, who can read English. And I will make him sit on my chair to make that debate with any Muslim scholar. I don't care how old is he or she, 50, 100, whatever. Okay? So a 10 years old Christian boy or a Jewish boy or a girl who can read English will answer the same 100 questions using the Bible. And here is the greatest portion of my challenge, that if he or she, the Jewish or the Christian, make a mistake in answering one question, I'm going to give him 100 questions. If he answered 99 questions right and he made a mistake in one, well, guess what? He or she will lose the debate. So the challenge is very simple. 100 questions, any Muslim, and the same 100 questions to a child, a Jew or a Christian child, 10 years old or so. If the Muslim answer one question right, he wins the debate. If the Jew or the Christian little boy or little girl answer one wrong, the Muslim will win the debate. I say this with 100% assurance that if he or she can read English, that a Jew or the Christian, I know for sure they will answer all my questions 100% accurate. The 100 questions, they will answer them accurate. And the Muslim, I will challenge him to answer one question right. And the catch again is this: the Muslim have to use only the Quran, and the Jew and the Christian have to use only the Genesis account. This is my challenge, and believe it or not, we're going to go all the study. We're going to study the whole thing. So I'm not surprising the Muslim with my question. If some Muslim will be watching these broadcasts and write this question down and give me an answer of one of them on his time, on her time. The Quran said it's pure Arabic, easy to understand. The Quran said that chapter 12, the story of Joseph, is the best of the stories which Muhammad ever wrote in the Quran. What a great challenge. I'm getting the best of what you got, and I'm challenging you to answer one question right. And to make it easier, watch these broadcasts. Write the questions down, find an answer in the Quran for any of my questions, and we'll go. Give it to me at your convenience, and you won. Or give it to the little boy or the little girl who are going to be doing the debate with you, and you won. All right? So that is a challenge, and I hope that you guys are taking it seriously. I'm going to launch my PowerPoint. Of course, this is the first slide we have here, which is my brother Scott. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it looks good.
The Straight Way of Grace Ministry, for those who maybe are watching me for the first time, that's the name of our ministry, which comes from the two verses. The first verse in the Quran, where Muslim people cry out to Allah, Quran chapter 1, verse 5, and call on Allah, guide us to the straight way, guide us to the straight way. I believe me, my friends, the straight way is not Islam. Islam is not the answer for your prayers. Even if you lift up this prayer 17 times a day, guide us to the straight way. For the straight way cannot be but Jesus Christ, our Lord and our Savior, who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. He is the way. He is the truth. He is the life. Without him, we're lost. Without him, we're dead. And without him, we're nothing. So I hope and I pray as we continue in this study that you will find for yourself that the truth is not in the Quran, even in the best of the stories of the Quran, which is the story of Joseph. This is my beloved wife Vicky, and this is my son Caleb. If you can keep them and myself in your prayer, that would be very awesome.
Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah.
Yes, Muslim shout Allahu Akbar. Allah is bigger. I don't know how big is that Allah if he could not even write to us any story accurate in the Quran. How big is that Allah where he does not understand the simplest question I'm going to be sharing with you in our study, but obviously repeating the lie after enough, much enough, big enough, causes people to believe it. Yep, Allahu Akbar, Allah is great. Allah is bigger. No, He is not. Allah is so small. Allah is so weak. Allah does not know anything about even the easiest stories which we have in the Bible, the story of Joseph. Joseph is one of my favorite story from the biblical account. As a matter of fact, I remember reading it when I was a little boy with my daddy when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, and there's so many pieces in it. When I read it with my daddy, specific information, it make me cry. It make my heart cry. And I believe, as we're going to get to it in our study, you will see the problem we have in America with Black Lives Matters and the Antifa and all the racist and all the hateful black in America who does not like the white. We can answer this from our study to Joseph, but we have to wait until I get to the right time where I share with you. Here's the answer for the problem we have in America. But wait until we get to it. Lord's willing, I will be sharing this with you. So, what the Quran teach about Joseph is the name of our study. And we're going to start from Quran chapter 12, verse 1.
These are verses of the clear book. Surely we have sent it down, an Arabic Quran. Perhaps you might understand. We narrate to you the best of the stories by which we reveal unto you this Quran, and before it, you were among the unaware.
So in these three easy verses, we know that these verses we're about to read now, it is the verses of the clear book. Clear means what? It means muddy? No, it means clear. I can see through it. I can understand it. It is not ambiguous. It's very easy to understand. And then Allah told us in verse 2 that Allah, we sent on Muhammad the Quran in Arabic, which means I'm not supposed to read anywhere in the Quran, or specifically in that chapter here, any word in a non-Arabic language. But we're going to see some of these. Why Allah put it in Arabic is that perhaps, perhaps you, Muhammad, perhaps you, my dear Muslim friends, can understand it. How in the world Allah can use the word perhaps in his writing of the Quran? Does Allah know if Muhammad will understand it or not? Does Allah know if the Muslim who reads the Quran will understand or not? What is perhaps? Perhaps means maybe yes, maybe no, but Allah exactly does not know. It is unusual, it's weird way of Allah talking the Quran. Believe it or not, when you study the entire Bible, the word perhaps is mentioned 3 times by people, not by God. God does not use the word perhaps, for He is all-knowing. He knows exactly what will happen before it happened, when it will happen, and how it will happen exactly. He does not need any guidance or any help. But so now we go to verse 3. Allah saying, we narrate to you, that's Muhammad, the best of the story. So you have to remember that. Every time I'm telling you, every time I'm mocking the Quran, it's not because I'm mocking the Quran in that specific chapter, chapter 12, but I'm mocking the Quran for the entirety of the Quran. Why? Because the best of the Quran is mocked. That means the rest of the Quran can be kissed goodbye. That's the reality of the Quran. Okay, so we narrate to you, Muhammad, the best of the story by which we reveal unto you the Quran. And before the Quran, Muhammad was not knowing. He was unaware. Why is it? Or maybe Muhammad need to read Genesis account. Because trust me, if Muhammad had read Genesis account, he would have rejected what Allah sent to him in Quran chapter 12 by angel Jibreel. Why? Because nothing written here is accurate. Muhammad was unaware of the story of Joseph because he never read the Bible, and so it is you, my dear friends, who are watching us right now. If you are a Christian, or if you're a Jew, or if you're a Muslim, if you have never read the Genesis account, for sure you know nothing about Joseph. And if you just gonna study the story of Joseph in Quran chapter 12, well, good luck to figure out what's going on in Joseph's life, because after you finish the last verse in chapter 12, you still will be unaware of what's happening in that story. Now, normally, when you read any story about any character in the Bible, from the Bible in the Quran, you have to read literally 15 or 20 places in the Quran. Right now, I'm doing a study on my Saturday night program, which I do in English from 9 to 12, from 9 to 11 Central Time. You can find it on our website, Revealing the Truth About Islam. You can join us. we're studying the story of Abraham in the Quran. I do the same program, by the way, in the Arabic language on Saturdays from 3 to 4. If you're interested to listen to my teaching Arabic, just send me an email. We'll send you a telephone number. You just dial it and you can hear my teaching every Saturday from 3 to 4. Now, when you read any story in the Quran about Abraham, Moses, Jesus, David, Adam, whatever, you have to read all over the Quran. But when it comes to Joseph, you got the best. You know why? The whole entire story is in one chapter. And Muhammad does not chase rabbits of all different stories in that one chapter, chapter 12, but he only concentrated on Joseph's account or Joseph's story. And believe me, this never happened with any other character in the Quran. So if you want to read any story about any name, biblical names from the Bible written in the Quran, you have to chase rabbit all over the pages of the Quran, sometime in the same chapter, few verses in the beginning, few verses in the middle, few verses in the end, and you move 5, 6 chapters later, and so on. But when it comes to Joseph, that's what I love about Joseph. I don't have to go throughout the Quran looking for these verses to learn about Joseph. They're all in one chapter. Chapter 12, the story of Joseph, written by the title Joseph. So let's see how much Muhammad learned from his angel Jibril and how much truth we can find out in the account of Joseph in the Quran. Move on to verse number 4. Here we go.
When Joseph said to his father, "O my father, surely I saw 11 stars, and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating before me." He said, "O my son, do not relate your dream to your brothers, lest they plot a plot against you. Surely Satan is the clear enemy toward man. And therefore your Lord will choose you and will teach you the interpretation of the sayings and will fulfill his grace on you and on the family of Jacob, as he fulfilled it on your fathers before, Abraham and Isaac. Surely your Lord is knowing wise."
Good, good. So now we have Joseph have one dream. A question we ask, how many dreams did Joseph have? Trust me, when a Muslim will answer that question using the Quran, he will say one dream. We tell him wrong, because the Bible said 2 dreams. So here's one question, got an X. Bah, wrong answer. Now ask another question. Did Joseph share that dream or these dreams with his brothers? According to the Quran, no, he did not. According to the Bible, yes, he did. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about doctrines here. We're not talking about theological, philosophical questions. I'm talking about simple question about the story of Joseph. You cannot tell me that Joseph had one dream when the Bible said he had 2, and you cannot tell me that he did not tell the dreams to his brothers, where we know that's one of the reasons why they hated him even more. I mean, there's no reason for somebody to hate his brother if you know nothing about the dream which causes him to be upset with him to start with. If Joseph's brothers in the Quran did not know about Joseph's dream, did not know anything about Joseph's color shirt, which his father gave him, did not know anything about Joseph, as a matter of fact, as we continue to read, it will blow your mind, because you may think that that Joseph Muhammad is talking about is a little boy. A little boy, 4, maybe 4.5, but not 5 years, trust me. Not the true information as we read in the Bible. So why in the world his brothers hated him so much if he's a little boy and they never heard about his dream, which in it, as we see here, he will become something important. Here we go. What do you say? "Oh, my father, I saw the 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrated before me, bowing down before me, worshiping me." That is a good reason for why Joseph's brothers will hate him. Who do you think you are, Mr. Joseph? But if they never heard the dream, and he was at this time a little boy, 4, 5 years old, why do you want to kill him? Why do they hate him that much? Are they really all mentally ill? Are they all sick in their heads? Or maybe Allah did not know the story. So is Jibril and Muhammad obviously fall in the trap of writing about a story he knew nothing about. He knew nothing about. So his father told him what? "Oh, my son, do not relate your dream. Don't tell your dream, because why? Your brother will hate you. They will plot against you. The conversation here we're talking about here is, look to me like, if I'm reading it, before I keep reading the next few verses, Joseph is, 14, 12, 14 years old. He's talking with his dad as a young man. According to the Bible, it's over 16, okay? But here, I guess, 12 years old. But no. That's not what Allah said in the Quran, as we're going to see. Allah will fulfill His grace on you as He fulfilled on the family of Jacob. He will fulfill it on your father as He fulfilled on your father before Abraham and Isaac. Or Allah is knowing wise. Let's move on with our study to look at the true biblical account. It is, if I'm giving this question to the little boy or the little girl, the Jewish or Christian, when I say, sweetheart, here's a question. How many dreams did Joseph have? And did he share the dream with his brothers or not? Okay, here's the correct answer. Genesis chapter 37, verses 5 through 8.
And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brethren said unto him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us, or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words.
Where is the sheep's dream? Where is that account in the Quran? It does not exist. Well, Muhammad's just cutting, the story short, get to the chase. No. The whole thing is wrong. The whole thing is missing. They hated him, and because of his dream, they hated him more. Do you want to know why they hated him to start with? You have to read the rest of the account in the Bible, not in the Quran, because the Quran does not say anything about it. I could not find one reason. I'll ask the Muslim in my debate, what is the reason why Joseph was hated by his brothers? That's one reason. Not one. In the Bible, many. They were jealous of him. And we're going to find out as we go. I don't want to rush myself and tell you the answer for all my questions, so we get to it as we study the Genesis account for Joseph as well. So that is one dream. Let's go to verses 9 to 11.
And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him, and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying.
Notice Jacob was not speaking because he does not believe it. He observed it. He kept it in his heart. But the scripture is very clear. The two dreams has been told to Joseph's brothers. They all heard it. They all know it. And they hated him even more. Let's continue. Quran chapter 12 and verse 7.
Indeed, it was in Joseph and his brothers, signs for the inquirers, when they said, Joseph and his brother are more loved by our father than we who are more in number. Surely our father is in clear error. Kill Joseph or throw him into land, and on you alone will your father's face be set. And after this, you will become a good people. One of them said, Do not kill Joseph. Cast him down to the bottom of the well. Some travelers will pick him up if you were doing.
It is so ridiculous. I mean, we have the most beautiful account in the Bible. It becomes so ridiculous and foolish story in the Quran. First of all, Joseph and his brothers. Can somebody of these great Muslim scholars give me the names of Joseph's brothers? It's a silly question. I know it is silly. I know it's ridiculous. Who are these brothers? And by the way, I don't want you to just quote me some names. I want you to give them to me in the right order, from the oldest to the youngest. And does he have any sisters? That's another question. Did Jacob have any daughters, or just he got a bunch of boys? Joseph and his brothers were assigned for the inquirers. Now, listen to this. We do not know who are Joseph's brothers, and we do not know if they have any sister. A little boy, a Jewish or a Christian little boy or little girl will answer that question, but not any Muslim scholar. Trust me. I'm giving you the question right now. Find me an answer in your Quran. Don't you dare use the Bible because it's a corrupt book. We don't want to use a corrupt book. Just let's stick with the Holy Quran and give me an answer. Now he said here, when they said Joseph and his brother are more loved. Excuse me, what? Joseph and his brothers. That's a bunch of them. Now we go to the singular. Joseph and his brother. Singular. Now ask the question. Why Joseph and his brother? Who is that brother? What's his name? Why they set these two people, Joseph and his brother, separate from Joseph and his brothers? You see, we're assuming Muslims believe in our Bible or believe in the stories of our Bible. But in reality, they know nothing about our Bible. And I wish and I pray deep, deep in my heart that every Muslim will open the Genesis account and read it and compare it to the best of the stories of the Quran, which is Quran chapter 12, the story of Joseph, to find out how empty his book is. It is empty. You have no answer for this, the most silly, ridiculous questions. He was more loved by their father than all of them. Is the question. Why Jacob loved Joseph and whoever is this brother of his more than the rest of them? Can any Muslim give us an answer for that question? What is the reasons why Jacob loved Joseph and whoever the brother more than the rest of the brothers? There must be some reasons there. Allah said that in the Quran. But listen to this. Surely our father is in a clear error. Are you kidding me? Jacob is in a clear error because he loved Joseph and whoever this brother is. But listen, this is the answer. Kill Joseph or throw him into a land. Excuse me. Kill him or throw him into a land. What do you mean by that? Well, you kill him, you throw him in the land. How do you throw him on land? Carry him up and top of the mountain and throw him hard on the earth? I mean, what is throw him in the land? See, Muhammad heard the story. Somebody who helped Muhammad to write the poetry of the Quran heard the story of Joseph from the Genesis account, and they know that he's going to be thrown in a well. But he's making poetry. Allah is helping Muhammad with Jibreel to make poetry. Kill him or throw him in the land. On you alone will your father's face be set on. After this, you will become a good people. Come on, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, you kill your brother or throw him in the land, and then you become a good people? What a dumb advice. What a ridiculous talk. But listen to this. One of them, another question. I hope Brother Bishop will count all these questions I am giving to you guys. Or Brother Scott, if you will watch this program again, please count the question, because trust me, we're going to pass 100. Okay? I guarantee you there'll be more than 100 questions. But let's continue. Now, here's a question. One of them said, who is this one? What is the name of the one of them who said that? One of the brothers of Joseph said, does he have a name? Why in the world Allah and Muhammad cannot give us two names in the entire book? It's called the Quran. And whenever we read any names, normally they're wrong. As a matter of fact, Jacob's daddy is Isaac. His grandpa is Abraham. Okay? Abraham have a father. The name of the father in the Genesis account is Terah. Allah in the Quran said, when Abraham said to his father, Azar, wrong name, was the great grandpa of Joseph. So when they mention names, the wrong names. Or one of them. The one in the middle. The one in the right tells the other ones. Really? No names? You mean Allah does not know the name of the one of them? Okay. Trust me, the little boy or the little girl, they will know the answer. Who is the one who said that? And that's not even the answer. That's no big deal. The answer is why? Why he refused to kill Joseph, but to, listen to this, do not kill Joseph, cast him down to the bottom of the well. Cast him down to the bottom of the well. Notice now, all this story is preparation. They are preparing themselves to do to Joseph what they're about to do, not in real life. So this is a plan. Okay? This is their plan. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna kill. No, it's Roman earth. No, 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 no. This is just Roman the world. And listen to his answer here. Some travelers will pick him up. He knows that someone, which we do not know his name, he knows that someone will pick him up. Some travelers will pick him up. Is this a true account of the Bible, or somebody already heard the story and you know what's coming and he put it in the poetry of the Quran? My friends, use logic, use common sense. How in the world that one person here knows that some travelers will pick him up? Maybe he will stay in it until he die of hunger. He's going to be at the bottom of the well for weeks and weeks, and he faint and he died. Is this the real reason why he chose not to kill his brother? The story is wrong. The story is missing information. And the question I'm asking, nobody have an answer. Except the little boy or the little girl, the Jewish or the Christian, who will give you the answer. You know why? Because they got the Genesis account. They get the true biblical account, which we're about to read now. Here we go. Genesis chapter 35, verses 22, second half, 22 and 26.
Now the sons of Jacob were 12, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan, and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad, and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Padan Aram.
Notice here, we got 12 sons who got them in the right order. All the young, of course, here important because Leah and Rachel, they were the two wives. Bilhah and Zilpah, they were the concubines, slaves of them. And Jacob was having such relationship with him. We'll find out later why he slept with them to have more babies. But these 12 sons are, the names are written, and we know all of them are Jacob's children, but they are from four different mamas. From four different mamas. Of course, you have a sister by the name Dina. Okay, you're not going to find this in the Quran or any of the saying of Muhammad. Period. It's only Bible. So that's a question we were talking about earlier, and we answered. Now, let me ask a question here. I mean, answer the question I asked a minute ago, which is why Jacob loved Joseph and his brother. We found out who his brother is. His name is Benjamin. Okay. Why? Because these are the two sons, listen carefully, of his beloved wife, of his old age, of his missing wife. Muhammad did not know that Rachel is dead. Because as we go in the Quran, all the way in the end, two repeated error where he claimed, I'm going to get to it in the end of our study, he claimed that Joseph mama still alive. Now, here's the story. Of course, Jacob was running from his brother Esau, who was angry, who was mad, because first he stole his birthright by a dish of food. Second, he stole the blessing of his father, Isaac, when he got old. Now his mama told him, go, my son, I don't want to lose both of you in one day. No, 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 no. Go and live with your uncle Laban. When your brother cool off, when Esau cool off, of course, a name no mention of in the Quran. Muhammad never heard of Esau. Never heard of what happened between Jacob and Esau. These information only can be found in Genesis account, not anywhere in the Quran. So now Jacob left his mom and dad. He traveled all the way back to Ur Kildinin, the original land of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, their homeland. So now Joseph is there working for his uncle Laban. And a few days went by, and Laban said, "You know what? You're my son. You're my sister's son. You're my son. I'm not going to use you. You're not going to work for me for free. Ask, what is the wages you want to get out of me? I'll pay you. You don't work for me for free. Oh, uncle, thank you so much. We know from the Genesis account, the first thing, before he knew anything, he saw Rachel and he fell in love with her. Love first sight. She was beautiful. She was hot looking girl. And he was tired from the traveling. He did not know if he was going to get lost or he was going to make it. As these days, they don't go, take an airplane or jump on a bus or drive a car on the roads. Oh, no, 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 no. You're talking about a guy traveling all around these miles for days and days, and you have no clue he's going to get his uncle. So he's asking the other girls who have sheep, he said, have you heard of a man by the name of Laban? Yeah, yeah, here she is, his daughter, Rachel. She's coming. What are you waiting for? So we have to, get all together to move the rock from the top of the well, and so we can get what is. He moved the rock, strong Jacob, and then when he saw Rachel and he saw her beautiful face and beautiful appearance, and he was missing after all this journey, the Bible said that he kissed her. He loved her and he kissed her. Of course, he went home with her in the end of the day, and his uncle loved him, welcomed him, started working with his uncle. They said, okay, okay, uncle, okay, I got my wages here. How about if I work 7 years for this beautiful daughter of yours, Rachel, to be my wife? Uncle said, hey, man, I can't find better man than you. You got her, babe. All right. And he worked 7 years. And of course, at these days, they don't have electricity, they don't have light. They have the party. Brother Jacob had a couple, 3, 4 glasses of wine. He went inside his tent and he made love to his beautiful wife, Rachel. And the morning stars, the sun rises in the morning and the star, he opened his eyes. Oh, what a happy life. And look, his side, and behold, it was not Rachel, it was her sister Leah. Not very beautiful, not very attractive, problem with her eyes. So he got upset. He had sexual relationship all night long with Leah, not Rachel, the one he loved. Uncle Laban, what have you done? Did you tell me that I'm going to work 7 years for Rachel? Why did you give me Leah last night? Oh, son, you sound like you're coming from a foreign land. Here we have a culture. And the culture is very simple. The oldest marry first. You love Rachel? Yeah. You marry her too. But 7 more years. 7 more years. But that's okay. You know why? He loved her. And the Bible said he served 7 more years as it was few days. It was nothing because he loved her. Then he had now 2 wives. In that custom as well, when a man marry his daughter to a guy, give her a nanny, a servant, somebody to take care of her. So now Rachel have Zilpah and Leah have Bilhah. 4 ladies are living in their house, and brother Jacob got busy with Leah. He got 1 boy, another boy, and 3rd boy, and 4th boy, 4 sons. And all this time, Rachel did not have any children. Please give me children, I'll die. He said, I'm not God. I can't do that. I'm giving you a fair time in our marriage, like Leah, but the Lord is not giving you any children, give her children. Okay, why not go to Zilpah, my slave here, my servant, sleep with her, and she will raise me babies. And he did. Also, that is in the custom, in the culture these days. When you own a slave, the children come from her are the master's wife's children. And behold, 2 boys. Now Leah did not have any children. So she gave Bilhah to Jacob. Go on them and give me more children from her. 2 more boys. So now 4 plus 2 is 6. And the servant of Rachel, 2 is 8. And then the Lord opened the womb of Leah twice more. And she had 2 more boys. We're talking about 10 boys. 6 on her own, 2 from her servant, and 2 from Rachel's servant. And all this time, and Rachel's heart is broken because time is going by and she cannot bear children for her beloved husband Jacob. But then the Bible said the Lord opened her womb and she had this beautiful boy by the name Joseph. A little bit later, another boy by the name Benjamin. So now we answer the question, why Jacob loved Joseph and his brother more than the rest? Because first of all, they were that sons of the beloved wife, the one who worked 14 years for, they are the son of the old age. When you get older in your 50s and 60s, and here we go, another baby, trust me, you will spoil the daylight out of them. You will spoil them rotten. Why? Because they're children of old age. This is a fact about any culture anywhere in the world. If a man in America, a man in Australia, a man on the moon, a man in Egypt, in his old age, in his 50s, get his wife pregnant, for sure he will love these children more. But then, as we know from the scripture, that Rachel died while she's having the childbirth of Benjamin. So now the very important third reason why Jacob loved Joseph and his brother more than the rest of the brothers, because they were the beloved children of his beloved wife, who is missing. She died. Every time you look at Benjamin, every time you look at Joseph, he see Rachel's in them. You can't help it. You have to love them more. After that, we're going to read a little bit more of some scripture. Another reason, because Joseph was working so hard with his brothers in the field, and he was doing a great job of bringing the bad report, all the bad stuff his brother used to do to his father. These are all reasons why Jacob loved Joseph more than the rest of the brothers. Of course, he loved Benjamin. So the verse in the Quran is not clear. It's not clear. It's information. It is there, but we do not know who is that brother of Joseph, and we do not know why Jacob loved him and Benjamin more than the rest of the family. Now, let's move on to verse 11 to learn about the plot. What Joseph's brothers would do to kill Joseph. Verse 11.
They said, "O our father, why do you not trust us with Joseph? And surely we will be advisers to him. Send him with us tomorrow, so that he may enjoy and play, and surely we will preserve him." He said, "Surely it will grieve me if you take him, and I fear that the wolf will devour him while you are not watching him." They said, "If the wolf eats him and we are many, surely then we are losers." So when they had gone with him, and they agreed to place him at the bottom of the well, and we revealed to him, "You will inform them of this, their affair," and they did not feel.
Muhammad ruined, and now you're going to hear me say that again and again. He ruined the best of the biblical account concerning Joseph. Our father, Mr. Jacob. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. What's going on? Why don't you trust us with Joseph? Excuse me, what? What are you trying? What are you trying to say here? We will be his advisor. We will protect him. We will send him with us tomorrow that he may enjoy and play. Oh, how old will you think Joseph, sir? Here's my question to my dear Muslim debaters. How old was Joseph when his brothers asked their father to send him with him to play in the field? Let me give you options. 2 years old, 3, 4, or 5. I mean, if we pass 5, then the wolf story is a comedy. Why? Because a wolf will not eat a boy older than 5. And it's amazing. Jacob knows what kind of creature will eat his son, a wolf. Is that what we read in the Bible? Does the Bible mention the name of the beast who ate Joseph, if there was one? Of course not. Of course not. He said, "Surely it will grieve me if you take him, and I fear that a wolf will devour him." I mean, devour meaning eat the whole thing. A wolf will not eat a whole cow. A wolf will not eat a whole sheep. A wolf will devour, mean finish him. He had to be a little boy with soft bones. How about that? They said, "Oh, if the wolf eat him, then we are many. Surely then we are losers." Really? "Oh, Dad, give us your son to play with us, this little boy, and if the wolf ate him, we're losers." Wow, okay, you go ahead. Go ahead and take him with you. What a conversation. What a ridiculous conversation. So, they took the son. In verse 15, so when they had gone with him, that is Joseph, and they agreed to place him at the bottom of the well, as the plan was put before. Is this what happened in the Bible? They made the plan, they take the little boy to go play with them, and they went ahead and put him in the well. But then Allah revealed to him something we don't read about in the Bible. Did God in the Bible reveal to Joseph that he will live, he will go through this crisis? Is this what happened in the biblical account? Question for the little boy and little girl to answer, but Muslims do not. They have no answer. Then we said here, and they agreed to place him at the bottom of the well, and we revealed to him, you will inform them of this their affair, and they did not fear. So Allah revealed to Joseph, you're going to tell them about what they have done, but he did not know that. Let's go to Genesis account.
Brother, we're getting up to the close to the 1 hour mark. So
all right,
let's find a good stopping point.
It's good stopping point. All right. So because of the sake of time, here we go. We're going to stop here, and hopefully, prayerfully, when we meet again in our next podcast, we'll be looking at the Genesis account to answer this question concerning taking Joseph for a trip for fun. All right. I pray that the Lord will continue to bless you and guide you, and until we meet again. God bless you. Bye-bye.